constituents. It is then only that the Lord Krishna shines before the jiva like the rays of the sun when the cloud is removed. So please repeat. In this way, the Maha Mantra of 16 names is the destroyer of the covering of the Jivatma, which is composed of 16 constituents. It is then only that Lord Krishna shines before the Jiva like the rays of the sun when the cloud is removed. So in the previous seminar I gave on Transcendental Psychology, I've actually explained this verse in some detail. So I'll just briefly go over the essential points. So this Jivasya Vardanam, the coverings of the jiva of 16 parts. So we have among these 16 parts 10 kinds of senses, divided into two categories, Karmendriya and Jnanendriya. 5 Karmendriyas, like the hand and the leg, by which we do work, and 5 kinds of Jnanendriyas, knowledge-acquiring senses, like the eye and the ear, by which we perceive. So this is 10. Then there are 5 Tanmatras, or sense objects, like Roop, which we see with our eyes, and Shabda, which we hear with the ears, Gandha, we smell with our nose. In this way, 5 kinds of perceptions. So that is 15, and these 15 are all subordinate to the 16th, which is the mind. The senses serve the mind, and the sense objects are fed by the senses into the mind. And the mind assembles these sense objects with the help of the intelligence in coherent form in this world that we perceive. So this all adds up to the covering of the jiva. It is because of these 16 ingredients that we are separate, apparently, from Krishna. We are thinking we are here in the material world, Krishna is far away, although Krishna is nearer than anything else to us. So, therefore, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, also of 16 parts, 16 syllables, is given to us to destroy, the word vinashanam is used, to destroy these 16 coverings. And then there's this beautiful analogy that Tata prakashate parabrahma megapai ravi rashmi mandalivati, like the removal of the cloudy covering. When the clouds are removed, then the sun shines in the sky, everyone can see. So similarly, when these 16 kinds of coverings are removed from around the jiva, then we can see directly Krishna in his self-effulgent spiritual form. So I think that's all I have to say about that. You may have questions, but let us read the last verse, text 8 that we want to do today. And this is the next question of Narada Muni. So on Monday we begin with Brahma's answer to this question. So text 8, Punar, let me recite it first. Punar Narada Prapatra Bhagavan Kosha Vidhirati. So, Punar, again, Narada Muni, Prapracha, ask, Bhagavan, O Lord, Kaha, what, Asya, its, Vidhi, procedure, Asti, is, iti, like that. Narada again asked, O Lord, what is its procedure like? So, Vidhi, translated here as procedure, this is actually referring to a ritualistic process, a process of ritualism. Narada, in asking this question, he's expressing a kind of anxiety on behalf of the fallen souls of Kali Yuga. He's receiving this Mahamantra from Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is the first of the Brahmanas. He is the first in this universe guru of the Vedic knowledge. And generally Vedic instructions, Vedic mantras, they're always associated with vidhi. Vidhi and nisheda. Vidhi means that there are so many supportive, ritualistic practices that must be done in order to follow the instruction or to chant the mantra properly. And then nisheda. Nisheda means there are things that are forbidden in connection with this instruction or this mantra. So do's and don'ts, like in yoga, yam niyam, vidhi nisheda. So Narada Muni is worried that, so this sounds very nice, chant Hare Krishna, but these poor souls in Kali Yuga, they're not able to follow these sort of, elaborate ritualistic rules and regulations, do's and don'ts. It is not in their nature. So Narada is thinking as a preacher, I want to go forth and I want to preach the chanting of the holy name, but if I have to give these people I'm preaching to so many rules and regulations, then they'll not be able to take up this process. So this is his anxiety, and therefore he's asking this question. So the answer to this question we will hear on Monday. So I don't think I need to discuss this elaborately. So then I'll stop here. Would there be any questions on what we've heard today or yesterday? Yes, Maji?
Maharaj, if we understand that the Mahamantra is the only destroyer of sin in the Kali Yuga, what we see happening now is a lot of mental illness and social problems that are caused from sinful life. Once that has happened, and then you have the result of, say like there's a lot of drug abuse and a lot of mental problems that happen from that, and you hear the doctors say, well, that is caused by some chemical change in the brain, but this is the result of sinful activity. If the Mahamantra is used, if say some person in that condition takes to the Mahamantra, would that help that condition? That's the result of the sin, perhaps.
Yes.
Would it help?
Well, you see, the Mahamantra is Krishna. So it is not good to take anything about Krishna for granted. It's not good to think, just to go away from that context, but or no, we can still take the context of a health problem, for example. So someone has some congenital health problem, means nothing he can do about it, it's come from his birth, some particular health problem. And then he comes in contact with devotees with Krishna consciousness, Krishna is God, just chant Hare Krishna. But if that person starts to think, oh good, so if I chant Hare Krishna then my disease will be cured. We shouldn't take that for granted, and nor should anyone encourage such a person in that way of thinking. Now someone asked Srila Prabhupada in a public program in India, well actually I'm not sure if it was in India, I better not say that, I don't really know where it was, but some young man challenging, he demanded to know of Srila Prabhupada, so do you know everything? Is that what you're trying to establish here? That you know everything? And Srila Prabhupada said, yes. And then this person said, oh, so you know everything? All right then. So then you can tell us how to cure cancer. Prabhupada said, yes, I can. So the young man, he was kind of like looking around for support. This is outrageous. All right, so tell us, what's the cure for cancer? And Prabhupada said, simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then Prabhupada explained, because if you chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then you will never have to take another body again. Therefore, no more cancer, no more birth, death, disease, old age. So you see, that is the ultimate cure to all these kind of problems. We may not be able to cure these particular conditions in this body. We shouldn't think that that's guaranteed. But if you do chant, you will not have to take another body. And that will be the cure to all problems. So it is best to encourage people in that way. Because this body is called Parabdha Karma. It's the ongoing karma. And Baladev Vidyabhushan, he says that a pure devotee, he still has this body. In other words, the Parabdha Karma is still there. But it's in a different condition. He gives an example of singed cloth. So I think for modern people, a more suitable nice picture in the mind would be, you may have seen, you take a newspaper, and especially if you wad the newspaper up a bit, and then you burn the newspaper. So if it's been wadded up, it will turn black, to a black ash, but keep the same form. You see, unless you touch it or blow on it or something. If there's no disturbance, it will keep the same form, just as it was before. So Baladev Vidyabhushan gives this analogy for the body of a pure devotee. The Parabdha Karma is still there, but it is different. It is like a burned newspaper. The form of it is still there, but as he says, if you touch it, it falls apart completely. So meaning, when death comes to that body, then that's the end. There's no other body that will take its place. The whole thing, the karma just falls apart, because that's all this body is. Srila Prabhupada says, karma means this body. So people sometimes ask, I wonder what my karma is. If they ask me that, I say, just go look in the mirror. That's your karma. This body. So by chanting Hare Krishna, Prabdha Karma is there, but it will not propagate another body. When death comes, it collapses, finished. So that is the answer for people with these sorts of problems. Yes?
Sometimes the translation of the Bhagavad Gita is saying that dear Krishna, you are representation in your service. Now how is this translation related to this text file? How did it come to that?
O my Lord, O energy of the Lord,
Yeah.
please engage me in your service, or in your blissful service.
Yes. How did that come out from this text file here?
Yeah, well, chanting the holy name of the Lord is service. It's kirtan. It's one of the 9 processes of devotional service, but as I said in the talk, it is actually the essential process of all 9. So to chant means to serve. And as one is chanting, one is calling upon the Lord to please engage me more and more in devotional service. Calling upon Hare, Mother Hara, Radharani, the energy of Krishna, and Krishna himself. And in the Lord's blissful potency, personified as Lord Balaram, Rama, because when one is engaged in pure devotional service, then one is situated in transcendental happiness. So one is calling upon these personalities to remain engaged in devotional service. Okay. Anything else? All right then. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Harinam Sam. You've got this all worked out in your mind, something about different moods and this and that. Makes no sense to me, I'm sorry. You're going to have to work this out yourself with someone else. But I really don't see the necessity of inquiring like this. Why Hare Krishna mantra isn't, it's not actually even in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Did you know that? How about that? Lord Chaitanya. Wow, you're going to have to go home and beat your head against the wall about these things.
My next questions.
Huh?
It will be my next.
That would be not to me, mystery. Not to me. Ask someone else. Go home and hit your head against the wall all night about this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anything else? You're from Russia, right?
No,
Where are you from?
the some other country.
In the CIS.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all ask questions like this there. That's why I don't like to go there. Last time I went there, I said, there must be a factory here somewhere. They just churn out these kind of questions. Not everyone worries about these things, you see.
I'm not worried. I'm just asking. It's not. A
Yeah,
problem
but you
for me.
shouldn't. If you're not worried, then don't ask. And if you are worried, then you should ask your guru. Yes.
Raj, this your fire sacrifice and this amazing deity worship. Would you like to give us some advice to do little more into it, like how to do it properly? Next, your like tomorrow's seminar, like will you explain a little more how to do it?
About deity worship and the seminar on the Hare Krishna mantra, I don't think so.
No, like your fire sacrifice things. I would like to learn little, like Padma Sambhava Prabhu, and he's very into it.
I'm going to do this fire sacrifice on the last day
Okay.
again. So tomorrow we'll just chant the Santarana Upanishad together, like we did today, and then on Monday we'll, without me chanting first, we'll all just chant it together. And do that the fourth day also. In this way, try to learn how it goes. And we'll conclude the last session with another sacrifice. Okay then. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So Audarya means munificence. It is open. You come and join us. Like in that nice song, Radha Krishna Bol Bol. So the song says that the only alms we are begging, the only bhikha, they would pronounce it in Bengali, bhiksha. You see, when a sannyasi comes, you give him bhiksha. You give him a meal, you give him alms. So Lord Gaurnitai, they are declaring in this song, the only bhiksha, the only alms we are begging is that you just join us and chant Hare Krishna. That's all we're asking. You see. So this is Audarya, open invitation. Come and join the Sankirtan movement and take instruction in the chanting of the holy name. And then from this you can enter the Madhura, that means the intimate, sweeter than sweet pastimes of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. We cannot jump directly into the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. We do not have that qualification. We do not have a free pass for that. But we can become qualified by entering into the Audarya Leela. And that Audarya Leela is manifest right now. The Krishna consciousness movement, the Sankirtan movement is spreading all over the world. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is with us now, leading the Sankirtan. And Srila Prabhupada is with us now, directing. He is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's special Senapati, special general for worldwide Sankirtan. And there was a question back here. Yes?
Maharaj, the soul by its nature is Satchitananda Vigraha. That's what I understand. So, full of knowledge and bliss. And how come it gets the desire which makes it to fall down to the material?
This question, it's like I have to answer this question so many times because wherever I go, someone asks that question. I should just have a tape recorder here. Play the answer. Yeah, the soul, look, what you have to understand is the soul may be Satchit Ananda, but it is minute. It is called Anu Atma. It is not Vibhu. We are not God. We are not Krishna. So we are tiny manifestations of Krishna's internal potency. And because we are tiny, we're called marginal. We're on the edge. There's the internal potency, the external potency. We're part of the internal potency, but we're on the outermost edge because we are so tiny. So that is the position of the Jiva Atma. So for us, there is always choice. We can say that our essential nature is one of choice. Therefore the soul is called Tatastha Shakti. Tatastha means borderline position. We can go one way or the other way. And that is always there. That is eternally the truth, the tattva about the jiva. And why is that? Because we are meant to love Krishna, but love is voluntary. To love Krishna means you must choose Him. You see, if you want to contemplate some position where it's not possible anymore to make another choice, a different choice, then that can no longer be love. Because love must be voluntary. It cannot be forced. You see, if someone puts a gun to your head and says, "Love me," say you love me. Okay. Because you don't want to die. I love you. You don't mean it. You're scared, that's all. You're being forced. So the real "I love you" comes from the heart voluntarily. So therefore choice is always there. So because choice is there, Srila Prabhupada said, then out of all the unlimited tiny amsas of the Lord, the tiny spirit souls, Srila Prabhupada says about 10% they choose wrongly. And so this whole material world, all of these universe, because we're talking about an infinite number of souls, so 10% of infinity is still infinity. So the material world, there are countless universes filled with countless living entities, but they're in the minority too. They have chosen wrongly, misused. Prabhupada always said, misused their minute independence. So our Swarup is still there. The Swarup of the Jiva is to be eternal servant of Krishna, but we are not acting on that anymore. That is like when you sleep at night, then your regular identity, your waking identity is suspended. And you're in another state of awareness. You're dreaming, and in your dream you may be dreaming you're someone else. You may be dreaming that you're a bird flying in the sky. So this is Maya. The spiritual self is asleep. He's there, but he's asleep, not active. And what we're experiencing now is actually a dream, the dream of the soul. And now we're dreaming, that we're living here in Auckland. In our last life we were having a different dream, and the next life we'll have a different dream. So Krishna consciousness means to wake up from that dream. So to answer your question, it's a matter of choice. We can choose to go away from Krishna, to try to be Krishna ourselves. But we are supposed to use our choice rightly, to choose to serve Him and love Him. Okay, so on that note, that question always signals the end. So it's 8:30, I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.